Welcome to For the Fans. I'm your host, Kevin G, and I'm here with CJ. CJ, we did it. We made it to the end. Big Brother 27 in the books, baby.
Can I just say that I'm really happy that for a cast that we panned so bad, like normally I would have checked out way earlier, but somehow Morgan, my favorite, and Ashley, my number one pick, made it to the end.
Yeah.
Like
We
I
thought
was
for
ready to
sure,
quit watching so many times, and
bro, we
yet,
did not think we would see Morgan all summer, and we got Morgan all summer. We said
right?
early on, we were like, listen, we're going to be excited for as much as we can get Morgan. We got her all summer.
Did not
Uh,
expect that.
Before we get in there, Tasha, what's going on? Hey, make sure you guys like and subscribe. I know this is the last show for this season. Make sure you like and subscribe so that way when we come back next year, you're ready to go. Make sure you're also jumping in the chat, chatting with us as we wrap up this season of Big Brother, as we go through everything that happened in this finale and this final week, because we got some shit to talk about, because this was a crazy week. It was crazy to the end. I'm not going to sit here and lie. It was crazy to the end because Vince Morgan would not have it any other way. They constantly gave, and it was a ride.
It watching them maneuver through the last part of the game, and specifically watching Ashley maneuver them through the last part of
Yes.
the game was fascinating. Like, and the show didn't do it justice with the amount of work Ashley put in those last few days.
Yes. So first off the rip, congratulations to Ashley Hollis for winning Big Brother 27. We're going to talk about how she got there, but what a win for Ashley. You know, CJ, I love that win. For me, a social strategy win is top notch. You know how much I love that.
And they really tried to show it in the jury segment where they were talking about Ashley's game, but they still didn't do a good job because the sentiment from the jury segment was Morgan played a winning game, Vince played Morgan's game, and Rachel argued that Ashley did a lot, and everyone else was like, I don't see it.
Well, Ava really argued it. Ava came in there. Tasha, I'm with you. I was over Vince and Morgan, but it was fun because normally at the end you don't get nothing, but their drama, it was so funny because like before we were like, well, they won't they? But then watching Vince beg Morgan to take him to the final two if she won was like, oh, they will never be getting together.
No. It was great to see.
It was an interesting end to their relationship, and it was fun. And then I've also watched some exit interviews. The exit interviews have been pretty boilerplate, but one of the things, CJ, that I've loved in the exit interviews, when someone was like, so Vince, have you had a chance to figure out what's going on with your situation? Kelsey's, we're great. I'm sure we're great. They're like, but it was weird that she wasn't in there. I mean, we only got like 2 tickets, so of course my parents were there, right? We got like 2 tickets.
I mean, I guess you're not planning a future with her. Also, you floated the idea of a relationship with another woman on national TV, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. But let's jump into it. Tasha, Vince lies to the end. You never stop lying, Tasha. Once you start lying, you just keep lying. You just keep the lies rolling. That's how you do it.
If you ain't lying, you ain't trying.
Correct. Let's start from the jump with round 1 because CJ, they did a very clever thing. They said, if you want to see some of how this competition starts, make sure you watch this recap of the recap episode.
So the recap episodes every year is pretty formulaic, where it's like we're gonna get like a retrospective on the major players of the season. We're going to get the weird request in the diary room. We're gonna get the crying montage. We're gonna get them gassing up each other's game, and then at the end you get a preview of what the live or what the first part of the HOH competition is. And it's funny because as we've gotten away from live competitions, which I don't like, but I understand why we're there because of the blockbuster,
Mm-hmm.
don't give me extra shit to watch that doesn't matter. Like,
Right.
you were at my house on Friday night. We were
Mm-hmm.
chilling, like, watching the Aces game. We had dinner. And then I was like, oh, yeah, that came on tonight. Do you guys want to watch that?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And then we just talked through the whole thing.
Yeah, because we've been watching. They did give us a lot of stuff that was on feeds, but I mean, we've been watching feeds. You know what I'm saying? We've
Yeah,
been seeing what's going on. But I like that they worked in the jury segments there. I
I did
like
like
that
that.
they worked in the feed stuff there. I like that they worked in um the beginning of the competition there. So that way you like got some new material along with the recap stuff. But like seeing Jimmy, I was like, oh, I forgot about that dude. Seeing Adrian, I feel like, oh yeah, that dude was on the TV. I forgot about him.
It's funny that he got more airtime there than he did on Sunday's episode because I forgot he was there.
Yeah,
Like,
it
they did
was
not talk to him at all.
correct. The competition itself, I did like the concept, right? Of being in the hover thing and being suspended. No, just another endurance comp. That's the best way. I love an endurance comp to start off round one, but I forgot that we need to back up a little bit more because this week started with Keanu going home.
Yes.
Keanu thought that Vince was going to save him. Obviously, he didn't. I want
I
to talk
don't know
about
why Keanu had so much faith in Vince to the very end.
to the end. It it's confusing because he just believed that Vince was had his back, and he never showed that he had his back. But the real thing that I thought was interesting, I want to talk about Ava Pearl. So what they were starting to show was that Ashley had made Ava a real ally to her.
Yes.
It was like me and you, we're rocking. We got to figure out a way to get Morgan to use the veto for one of us, and then let's take out Vince.
And I think Ashley was close. Like, I think if Ashley had another day or two, she might have gotten there.
Possibly because she was working Morgan to believe that she couldn't beat Vince, which was smart.
Yeah.
Which was smart. And Vince was trashing Ashley, saying, she doesn't matter. Like we can smoke her, smoke Ava, yada yada yada. Ava, to her credit, was like, Vince, I'm never working with you. Vinny the Lip, you suck.
Yeah.
And Vince does still kind of suck, even though he doesn't win. He still sucks. I thought it was great when an hour before Ava calls a house meeting of the four of them and says, sister, he's not taking you. He told me he's taking Ashley. So just wanted to put that out there. Just wanted you to know.
I think it's funny that Ava, similar to Kelly, similar to Keanu, everyone is putting Vince on blast as they go out. Vince has to know, no matter what he does, he can't win at this point. So he might as well be loyal to Morgan because he's playing for second place.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. He has to be. And it's interesting because I thought with Ava leaving, I thought that was nice of her to try to start. That was the start of the push for Morgan to take Ashley.
Yes.
Because Ashley figured by hook or by crook, I'm going to be in those final two chairs.
Mm-hmm. She knew that if she could pit them against each other, she can get to the final two, and at that point, it's lawyer mode.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that was the goal, right? That was the goal for her. And it was funny watching Vince, the roast, like Vince's roast started then. And watching him have to maneuver out of that with Morgan was also the beginning of the end of their like option one relationship situation.
Yes.
I also love the fact that Ava at this point was like, Ashley for the win. Because it was like, let me put this out there, try to give Ashley a chance to sit in those final two. And if we could gas her up and get her there, we can go. We can get her. We can get. We can try to get a win. I need 4 votes. That's
Yeah.
one right there. Will's right there. Rachel's right there. That's 3.
Yeah.
We gotta find one. We gotta find one. Kelly, Keanu. We gotta find one.
I based on what was said, like not to jump too far ahead, but based on what was said when they were submitting their votes, I don't know if they could have gotten the 4th vote, but they could have tried.
Yeah. And so the reason I wanted to mention all that is because I loved when Ava put in her key when she said, I'm voting for the person that believed in us even when I didn't believe in us.
Yep.
And that was cool because that was both for Ashley, because Ashley believed in the two of them.
Yeah, she actually thought they could do it. They just had to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Ava was like,
I
I'm
don't
just
think
here
we
until I
can.
get voted out. Yeah.
Well, she was like, I don't think we can, but she continually tried and she pushed it. And I thought that was cool because that showed that gameplay. That's how an ally works.
Correct.
And it's funny because one of the reasons why me and you were killing this cast all season long, because we watched as Mickey put her ally up. Vince put his ally up.
Yep.
Jimmy put his ally up. We watched as person after person put people up that they were working with. And that's not how you play the game.
Yeah, Lauren with Adrian. And then crying about it. Why are you crying about sending home a person you claimed you were working with when it was your choice to put them up? As we talked about many a time this season, these 5 people are off the table. Anyone else could get it.
Yes. Yeah. It's like you're going to sit here. So take these. We're going to push them to the side. Who of these? Who of these? What about them? Don't look over there. Yeah. Of these right here, who are we going to pick? Because these over here, I'm the HOH. Don't look over here. It's any of these that we're going to pick from. Because these over here, they're with me.
Yes.
Go ahead, put some sunglasses on, get some lemonade. We'll see y'all come Thursday. Because they're fine. That's how it should be. And that's where Ashley was like, how can I make life easier for my people? I'm trying to make sure my people get where we got to go. And so, Ava, let's strategize. Let's move things around. How can we get to where we got to go?
Right.
And you don't stop working for your people. And it's kind of like where I turned on the season, right? Where I came back around. Because watching Ashley, watching Rachel, watching even Ava when she was with HOH, watching people actually start working with their allies, the judges. That was when the game started turning and getting better.
So I think Ava's HOH is when we stopped complaining about how bad the cast was on the regular. And then it just became an objective thing where like we kept pointing out the cast was bad because the cast was bad.
Mm-hmm.
But like we held a funeral for the show like week 3 or week 4.
Yeah. Because it was so terrible what we were seeing. Chat, what were y'all thinking? Tasha, what were you thinking in terms of where do you think the show turned? Because I feel like the show did turn and came back because of alliances finally showing that we know how to work together.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important we watch Ashley do it.
How did we go through a season and I think we only got 2 named alliances with the triple threat and the judges?
I mean, we had other ones. We had
but it was like pairs.
No. We had the one with the bond. With the bond that didn't last, but we had
the Burger Boys.
The Burger Boys didn't last, but we got it. She think we turned it like week 6. Yeah, that's where it like turned back because that's when you had like people like starting to like really link in. So like about 4 weeks ago, about a month ago is when like finally people started working in the interest of protecting people. Oh shit, is that how this game works?
Essentially, they had to get to jury to actually start playing the game, which is so dumb.
Yeah. It's wild.
And it's funny because if you're waiting a jury to play, typically it's the sleeper agent strategy of like, I'm not going to try too hard at comps. I'm not going to try to like position myself. I just want to make sure I'm good with everyone. But that's not what we saw.
Right.
Like it's similar to Survivor. I can't lose before merge, or like I can't win before merge, but I could lose before merge.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And sending your allies home is a quick way to lose before merge or jury.
Right. And Ashley is proof positive of why you want to work with your allies, right? And
Yeah.
keep them there because by stacking 3 of your allies in the jury, in Rachel, Will, and Ava, you gotta find one.
Yep.
And Morgan's one of her allies, but she like threw Vince a bone.
I think if Morgan would have been sent out in the Ava slot, she might have voted for Ashley too, because I think Rachel did a lot of work convincing others why Ashley was deserving.
No. Morgan said in her talk with Sharon Tharp that she voted for Vince to show she was loyal to him. He worked with her a long time. Vince got in trouble a bunch protecting her, so she voted for him. And Ashley fried him.
Yeah.
Ashley fried him crispy, and she said he was a well done steak, so she already knew what it was, but she knew that he would be crushed if it was 7-0. So she threw him 1, so that way it wasn't 7-0.
It's funny because when I was listening, like not to jump too far ahead, but when I was listening to Ashley's speech at the end, it reminded me of Taylor's speech. Like it was a little bit more frantic, a little bit more excited, but you knew she was working on that for a while.
Yeah. That's true. It was. We're gonna talk about it because I think it's definitely different. It's definitely different, and I'm gonna talk to you why. Because
It's different, but the feeling I got was the same.
and that's interesting because I didn't, but I did love the point, and we'll get to that because let's move on to part 2, right? Because Morgan wins the first part of the HOH as expected. Ava puts that she starts that seed. It starts to grow. Ashley's little seed starts to grow in Morgan's head. Then Morgan wins part 1 of the final HOH, leaves Vinny to face Ashley. At this point, Vinny's already starting to pout and talk about how he can't beat Morgan. Just so good, and she's so good at these games, and I can't even beat her. And now I got to go up against Ashley, and Ashley doesn't deserve to be here. And blah 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 blah.
And I'm so sad.
Mm-hmm. And so we go into this competition where Vince has a very obvious advantage.
Yes.
Because he's got to jump from thing to thing, got to kick some stuff down. We get Frankie, shine bright like a grande, come back in there. We get the mastermind. I thought the mastermind twist was clever at the end. I'll talk about that at the end. Wasn't a little catch-all at the end, but I thought that was interesting. But we get Frankie in there, and we got to kick down some stuff, right? And CJ, Vinny's meltdown was phenomenal.
If Vinny ever thought he had a chance with Morgan, it died right there. Like it was on life support, but it was like dead after that with his crash out.
Bruh. Okay, so we kick the things down. We then we kick the puzzle pieces over. We build the puzzle, right? From his account, he had between 20 minutes to an hour. Retellings are retellings, tall tales are tall tales. Started with 20 minutes. He said he had about an hour lead. It's somewhere in between there, right?
I mean, when you watch it, because they didn't cut the swings together in real time,
yeah,
you could see he had a massive lead.
Correct. He has a massive lead on her. And she just continues to work. She stays on the grind. He puts the days in there. Also, according to him on the feeds, CJ, they were kind to him because he went ballistic.
Yeah.
He was crying. He was whining. He was screaming. This is fucking right.
Yeah.
This is fucking right. Apparently, at some point, he sat down and he said, I don't know what you guys want from me. This is right. He had a full-on tantrum.
I think it's funny that it never occurred to him to pick the card back up and read it.
So the crying and whining should have done it to turn her off, but it was the crash out that turned Morgan off. I think it was a lot of the things leading up to it, but I think that crash out was the cherry on top, Tosh. I think that was the end of it because she had to then console him with that crash out because he was done.
And that's the thing. It's like she was trying to console him, and he didn't want to hear it. He just wanted to have a pity party.
Correct. And like when Ashley read it out loud, I thought it was so funny because they obviously make you read it out loud.
Yes.
So Vince reads it out loud, and he's wrong. Obviously, he starts doing it wrong. Ashley reads it out loud, and he hears it again.
Yes.
But he continues on what he's doing. Morgan hears it and says, order.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. And then turns to Frankie, and Frankie's nodding his head. Yes. And you're like...
Well, it's funny because we knew about the crash out and the fact that they both made mistakes, but I caught order right away.
Now, granted, we knew that there was a situation, right? We did know that. We were privy to it. I would have read the thing. I would have said order, but like, mind you, we are studying days, right? We are studying days. I want to give some grace because I know that we're studying days. Things are usually days. That's the thing we've been like putting together. Conceptually, I'm thinking order, but when I try the days and it's wrong, then I try the days again and it's wrong.
It's still wrong. Yeah, like if I'm adjusting dates because it's like, oh, I wasn't sure about this day and it's still wrong. Wasn't sure about this day. Again? It's still wrong. If I've been doing this for a little bit because they showed multiple buzz-ins, why is this not right? Maybe you should consult the card. Like, you've been trying to get on this show for 10 years. Yes. So you obviously watch this. You probably watch shows like Amazing Race, Survivor, whatever. Like, revisit the instructions, my dude.
Listen, if anytime I do a thing and I'm wrong more than 3 times, I'm going to go reread them instructions.
Yes.
Because obviously I'm not understanding something.
Correct.
If I'm playing a video game and I do something wrong a few times, I'm going to then pull up a tutorial because I want to make sure I'm not wasting my time here.
Like, as someone who watches The Amazing Race every season, the instructions are very important. So, in any game, I'm looking at them.
See, Tasha says she didn't catch it the first 2 times either, but she also would have went back and reread that card after.
Exactly.
It's like after a little bit. Like, it's not going to take me forever. Especially, I'm not going to have no crash out. I'm not going to be like cursing. Even in a high pressure situation. I know we're running against the clock here, and I see Ashley's coming down here. The moment she goes to go read the card the first time, I'm going back to reread the card because at this point, the score is 0-0.
Yeah.
Christine, welcome to the chat. Christine says she can't imagine Vinny putting furniture together. Imagine if he had an IKEA design.
At least he has pictures. Maybe the pictures will save him. Who knows?
This man has an IKEA for some IKEA. He goes to
IKEA. Also, imagine the crash out if he had to put together IKEA furniture.
Just conceptually, when he's putting it together, also can't read what is called Dusselflorgen. He picks up the table as he's putting it together. He's trying to screw it in. It's backwards. He has the wrong screw. He's doing it. He's yelling, fuck. He's throwing it down. It breaks. He's still trying to push it in there. That would be Vinny's life.
watching Vinny struggle through that competition, I'm sure he was the kid trying to put the square peg in the round hole.
Yeah. It was crazy. Shouts to Ashley for just staying the course though, right? Because she knew that like I'm probably not gonna win this, but I'm gonna keep it going. Then she gets it, and then that's when Vince loses it.
If Vince could have hung himself with the rig they had set up, he probably would have.
Yeah. Climbed all the way back up, wrapped it around, just jump.
Yep.
It was
watching him going and hiding to like cry behind the puzzle. Like I felt kind of bad for him, but I didn't feel that bad because read the instructions.
I did think it was funny that he went behind the puzzle to get some like privacy, but you're in a room full of cameras. There's cameras everywhere, my guy. Like there's cameras can catch you.
But like I felt bad because Morgan is like actually trying to help him out to like calm him down.
Yeah.
And he's just none of it. I want none of it. Let me have a pity party.
Shout out to Frankie. Frankie had to stand there and endure all of that. He had to stand there for however long they were doing this thing.
He had to stand there and watch his mastermind actions at work.
Forget shout out to Frankie. Shout out to Dr. Will, who had to stand in another little room for that entire time.
Dr. Will and those two cops.
Those two and two other dudes, actors, who had to just wait and wait and wait for.
Do you think they were watching a live feed of what was happening, or they just had to sit in the room and listen?
Probably just sit in the room and listen.
That's worse.
Yeah. If I sit down and just wait, okay, now's the time. It's been like an hour and a half. Like now's the time. Go now. I've been framed. It was an interesting situation. Vince goes behind the thing. He can't even really congratulate Ashley because he feels like Ashley's done nothing, doesn't deserve to be here. He talked about it constantly and consistently, how Ashley did not deserve to be here.
Imagine saying that, like gassing yourself up that you're so much better than someone just to lose to them.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Like those are the things you could never say out loud because now you look even worse.
And then not just lose, like get thrashed by them, right? Yeah. Like, because you didn't just lose, like you got crushed.
That was he blew a 28-3 lead like the Patriots or like the Falcons. Like he blew a 3-1 lead like the Warriors. That was bad.
I don't think so. I think
in that competition.
Oh, in that competition, yeah, in that comp, yeah.
Yeah.
In the end, it was more Eagles Chiefs last year.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day. Archer with the comment that Ashley Sleeping Beauty strategy, girl Biden, I love it. It was crazy, man. But after Vinny's meltdown, we get the feeds come back, right? Feeds come back. Ashley, Team Ashley, let's go. Vinny sitting there. We see him field position is talking to Morgan. I'm a shitty human. I'm a dumb human.
Morgan should have been like, yup. Just agree with them. Yup.
I'm with Tasha right here. That's why I don't like when house guys say who is deserving to be in the house. I am with you. We are all here playing the same game. We are all equal in terms of deserving. No one deserves to be here more than anyone else. I may not want you here because you're not good for my game. That's facts, right? Like that is factual. We are not working together, but there ain't nobody that deserves to be here over nobody else.
And notice the entire season when we talk about like potentials, winners and losers, never once did we say Vinny doesn't deserve the money.
Correct.
What we said is we don't want him to win it.
we just want to actively keep it away from him.
Yeah. but if he won it, he deserves it. He played the game.
Yeah. We just want him to like not be happy. Like that's different. This is different. We want him to be upset. That's all it is. We want him to hurt.
I just don't want him to get the down payment for a house. I want him to keep living with his mama.
Exactly. That's you on the page with us. That's what we're talking about here.
Exactly. He's going to take their $75,000 and he's going to move in with Todrick. He's going to be fine.
I don't even think Todrick has his house no more. I don't know what Todrick's doing. He ain't Kylan.
That's a
But
story for another day.
that's a story for another day. Anyway, so Vinny has his crash out, so it goes down to 2, right? We got Ashley versus Morgan, heavyweight battle. First time ever 2 black women going head to head in the final 2. Or in the final HOH.
Side note, I was talking about it with the wife today about how there's been a lot of black female winners lately, and I said ever since CBS made the active choice of having 50% people of color, well, just 50% people of color, we haven't had a white winner.
Correct. Look at that.
Yeah, it's like amazing what happens when you have diversity and people, and like it's just it's not even like outside of the cookout. People didn't be like, I'm working with you because you're looking like me. It's just been I'm going to gravitate to who I like instead of I'm going to gravitate to who I'm socioeconomically comfortable with.
Correct. And like it needed to happen for the cookout to make sure that it happened.
Yes.
They did it. They were like those kids that got busted in.
Yes.
And they got busted in for the first time, right? And so like after they did it, it was done.
Yes. But now that it's been done, like we don't need to do it again. Yeah.
They integrated the school. The school has now been integrated.
But like to go through, what was it, 21 seasons, and we had June, Josh, and Casey, and that was it as people of color who won. And then now that's all we get.
Yep. It's an interesting situation that's happened, right? And then for there to have been of those seasons 3 black women.
Yeah.
Crazy. Black dudes got to step it up. We got to figure it out.
I mean, X did it first.
X did it first only because Kylan's an idiot.
Also true. Because Tiffany should have did it first.
Yeah, because Kylan said I went with who I thought was playing the best game.
Yep.
You were wrong.
Correct.
It was Tiffany. Anyway, so Vinny's there. Now the thing that was crazy is that after this happens, Ashley steps up her game because she says, I need to be in that final 2, no matter what happens. She starts working Morgan and telling her, I don't know if you could beat Vinny. One thing that wasn't shown, because they don't know how to show a social game. CJ, I don't know if you were seeing this. I know you're on the Reddit. I know you're looking at the feeds. The way that Ashley was telling Morgan, I think it's 50-50. And the way she was telling to Vince and saying to Vince, I just figured the 2 of you are going to be in the final and that like y'all were just going to cut each other and that was going to be the winning move. And then Vince being like, yeah. And then Ashley would go back to Morgan and be like, Vince said he was going to just cut you.
So part of what makes Ashley's game so masterful is you see it with Vince and Morgan when they talk about how they played completely different games from each other, despite the fact that they were rocking together nonstop and no one on the jury could figure out which one was Vince's move and which one was Morgan's move. Spoiler, like narrator voice, they were all Morgan's moves. But that's neither here nor there. The fact that Ashley was able to convince them that they were not playing the same game and that sitting next to each other with opposite games makes it very difficult instead of sitting next to each other with the same game, which actually would have made it more difficult, is fascinating to me. Like, how did she convince these 2 that they were on opposite sides of the spectrum when they moved through the game in unison for 50 plus days?
Because they wanted to they wanted to feel like they were differentiated. They wanted to feel like they had their own story. They wanted to feel like that they were doing their own thing.
But like you've played games like this. I've played games like this. I know that when you get to a certain point, if you have a clear-cut number 1, you need to think about cutting them because you need to prove that you're alone.
This is untrue, actually. If you are the dominant force, if you're the Morgan, you beat either one. Right? Morgan takes Vince, she wins. Morgan takes Ashley, she wins. The real key to Ashley's game was convincing Morgan, was putting that seed of doubt that she could lose.
That is true because well, yes, but no, because I don't think Morgan is extremely confident. Where
Correct.
I think Morgan, she kept talking about outside of Ashley, she wants to sit next to Vince, but she doesn't know if she could beat him. She should have
Mm-hmm.
known she could beat him because everybody who left said that Vince was playing Morgan's game to Vince's face in front of everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's how she should have. She should have been confident, and that's why that's tough because she had the win all along. Now, mind you, she doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
Um, but she would have beat. So when she was agonizing over which ones to go, which one to take, it was a moot point, which is really funny if you think about it, because Ashley putting that nugget of knowledge in there led to them having conversations for hours about taking Vince or not. And I thought that was one of the most selfish things that Vince had done, because Vince is just mad selfish. But one of the most selfish things Vince did was because she's trying to prepare for the speech in this final, and he's just complaining about not getting taken to the final two by
Right.
her. Mind you, CJ, I don't know if you had heard, Ashley had already talked to him and said, "Oh, if I make it, I'm taking you."
Yeah.
And
She told him that on Friday, like Friday
yes,
after the competition.
and then she also told him, if Morgan takes you, you have my vote because Morgan should cut you, because that makes the
Yeah.
most sense. So then it put him in the mode to make sure, because we know Vince is selfish. So it put him in the mode to work Morgan even harder to take him, which then made her even less interested in taking him, which was a part of Ashley's plan.
Well, I think she was also just less interested in him in general.
No, yeah, but the more he pushed, the more she pulled away.
Poor Vince, he tried so hard.
Yeah.
I also found it funny, like extending past Vince's meltdown as we get to the jury part, is Vince claims that all of his emotion was genuine and he doesn't feel like any of the lying he did was excessive. And he was overly emotional and overly, like, he lied too much.
Now, Tasha's right. Morgan entertained the nonsense, and it seemed like she just didn't know what else to do. Right? She just couldn't help herself. And I'm not giving her a pass or nothing.
Right.
She sat there and actively entertained the nonsense the entire time. And that part is just wild to me, because she's like, I need to study, and he's constantly on that me bullshit. But she just constantly kept giving it back to him and letting him drag her down that path when she did need to study, because obviously as we get to part 3, the unexpected happens. Ashley beats Morgan in the final 3 comp.
But I know the unexpected happened, but were you actually surprised?
Yes.
I was not, because I didn't think that a question comp was going to be Morgan's strong suit.
She's won one of those before. She's won one of those before.
She's won one, but like, it's a memory comp. I just felt like Ashley had it in the bag.
All the answers she had her hand on, and then she changed them.
And that goes back to the confidence.
It's the confidence. But like, here's the problem. We've never seen this comp get in so early.
Correct.
And so they all know the answers to these things.
Yes.
They're studying this stuff. This is the thing they're preparing for, because this is the most important competition, as you see, of the game. And Morgan wins this competition. She wins the game. She wins this. This was a $750,000 fumble.
Correct.
And like, not often can you say someone fumbled a bag like this. Morgan did fumble the bag on this one comp.
Yes.
And it sucks.
It sucks, especially because if she could have just played in the second one, she would have won 1 and 2 and not had to do 3.
That's not how that works.
It should for Morgan.
That's not how that works. She can't just win the 2 and then not have to play in the 3rd. But
what? I won 2. Why does it matter?
That's not how that works. But for her to fumble right there, and then Ashley to like blow her out, to smoke her, wild turn of events.
Right. Do you blame Vinny the Lip for blocking Morgan's study time?
Yeah, that's part of it. I think she was sleep deprived. Um, she wasn't well rested. I don't know. Like Vince, Vince is probably one of the worst allies I've seen ever play this game.
Keanu said it best. If Vince goes home, at least none of my allies go home.
Yeah, and to the end, Vince sent his allies home.
Yeah, including Morgan.
That's wild. To the end, Vince sent his allies home. Every single one of them, including Morgan. Because if he lets her sleep, if he works with her, if he doesn't keep her up for 2 days, worrying about going to the final with her, she might do this comp differently.
You know what? Here's the worst part about this is if I'm Vince and I'm really trying to make it to the end and I know Ashley is going to take me to the end based on her word, I am helping Morgan study. I'm not asking her to take me. I'm not asking her to do anything else. I am quizzing her to make sure she has this shit down pat because we've moved through this game together and I need to get to the end.
Yeah.
And if she cuts me, she cuts me.
So Tasha, you don't feel bad because he knew Ashley was going to take him to the final two. I know that that's the thing. He knew that Ashley was going to take him. He was trying to also get Morgan to take him because that way he knew he was safe on either side. That's really what he was trying to do.
What he didn't vocalize, but I'm sure he was thinking the whole time, this never would have happened if Lauren was here.
It's crazy because like you're right, Tosh. It is the game, and that's what it is. But like that's why you lose, though, right? I mean,
yeah,
the game is the game. I'm not sitting here and knocking it. You know, obviously, especially me. I love this game. We sit here, we talk about this game. We've been here for 11 weeks breaking it down. You guys love this game
for
too.
Multiple seasons. Tasha's been here with us multiple seasons.
Yeah, you guys are here in the chat, like watching us here talk about this game. Obviously, y'all love the game too. A part of the game, though, is that like, and this is why I love it. I was talking about it last night. The blockbuster, right? I like the fact that the blockbuster goes to. I wanted to go to jury, and I wanted to end at jury because at jury, you could backdoor somebody, but you got to deal with that later because you got to deal with it come the vote.
Yes.
If you're sending your allies home, you got to deal with it come the vote.
Correct.
In this situation, Vince had to deal with it come the vote.
Vince, so Julie asked when they were talking to the whole cast, how many people had final twos with Vince? There was 7. Of those 7, 3, I believe, were in jury. Maybe 4.
Hold on. Mary, I don't know why everybody's streaming at the same time. We've been coming at 7 o'clock at this time every week.
Yeah.
Every week this season.
They need to get off our block.
Everybody coming on our block at this time. The 5 p.m.ers go at 7 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern every week. I don't know what everybody else is doing, but here we are.
Right? Get off our block. Anyway, like, Vince had so many people that he had final twos with that he eventually burned. But if you have a final two with someone and they make it to jury, hypothetically, they should be voting for you to win.
Right. Because that's the idea, right? Is that because you should have not had a hand in putting them on there.
Correct.
It should have been circumstantial.
The fact that he sent Keanu home on his HOH, you're never going to get his vote. The fact
that you
threw
Kelly up 1,000,000 times, you're not going to get her vote.
Yeah, but like Kelly, the first time said you could put me up, but we have a final two. You shouldn't have put her up then, but you did. Okay, whatever. But you need to prove to her that you're loyal to her, and you continually didn't. The fact that you sent Lauren home, like, what are you doing?
Yeah. The fact that
he didn't even send Lauren home. Morgan sent Lauren home. He put Lauren up. That lost her vote. he could have had 3 votes,
Yeah.
and Morgan would have been 4, but he mismanaged the jury.
Especially when you already didn't like Ashley. Morgan's going to be mad, but just put her up.
Yeah.
Tasha, yeah, Keanu did put Vince up after Vince betrayed him twice.
Yeah.
3 times. Sending Riley home. Voting out Adrian. Lying to him about the Adrian
Sending
vote.
home
Sending
Catherine.
Catherine home. Yeah, he had already betrayed him, burned him 3 times. Like, Vince had already been a poor ally. And so,
I would love to see Vince go on an all-star season just to see how they treat him.
I don't know that he would last very long. I just could never trust you. I could never trust you.
That's why I need to see him on an all-star season, because I don't think anybody would actually work with him, and it would be a rude awakening.
Yeah.
And I 100% agree with what Tasha said. I think if Vince owned his moves, he could have gotten more votes because he didn't take accountability for his own actions.
Let's go to that, because let's talk about the social strategy. So Ashley wins, she takes Vince because Vince is easier to beat. I mean, that's just, she knows it. She knows that if she's gonna have a chance, it's got to be against Vince, because Morgan's gonna clean it up. Going into this situation, I was concerned.
Yes.
Not for her, but I knew, watching her over the weekend, I knew that Ashley had a long speech, and I knew that she was not going to have that much time. She wanted to have the reveal that she was a lawyer there, but Will ain't got nothing else to talk about, so he already mentioned that she was a lawyer in the jury house, though she didn't want that mentioned early. I think it's better that it was mentioned early because they already had time to digest it.
And it changed the way they viewed her and how she moved through the house.
Correct. So she was wrong to want it late. Will was smart to have said it early. Yep. It allowed them to digest it and made other things make more sense. Once they all knew that, because it's when they tell Ava, because he's like, well, Ava, like, she's a lawyer. And then they're like, she's like, what? And then everybody else like, yeah. Because that means
Kelly also was like, what?
Nah, Kelly was like, yeah, because Kelly, Keanu, and Lauren already knew, because he already told them. And so when we get that reveal, we get Ava coming into the jury roundtable stumping for Ashley.
Right.
Which was fantastic. We get the other than that, the rest of the jury stuff is like played up for the TV. I don't really put too much stock into it, but we get her bringing that there and talking about her allies. In the speech, I was concerned because she had so many points she needed to get to, because I knew it was going to be a long way to get there. So I was watching it at my buddy's house, not your house, it was another friend's house.
Right.
And while we were over there, I was watching, and he's like, no way Ashley wins this thing. This is far and away Vince's. This is Vince's done. Now, mind you, he's a casual. His fiance, she's a casual. She's a hardcore casual. She's been watching for a long time, but they're both casuals.
Yeah.
And I said to him, Ashley's about to wipe the floor with him. And she's like, Ashley sucks. She doesn't deserve to win this game. And I said, you'll be surprised. So she's a strong social strategy that they just haven't shown. Like, she's about to
is this the same dude you beat in the couples draft year after year after year?
Yeah. Won again,
of course.
by the way. Won again. But
that's right.
He goes and he's like, there's no way Ashley wins this thing. Can't happen. First point, they asked Vince. First, Keanu asked Vince, is there with your strategy, was there any point in like lying, right? That was like the first question, basically. And on that question, I was like, that's not good.
It's not good, but I think it's funny because they were essentially giving him a chance to own his moves.
Okay, so that's how you saw it.
Yeah. Like,
I
I
saw
know
it as
you,
a
it's
roast.
like, Vince, we know you lied a lot. Can you justify why you lied so much? Own it.
So that's how you read it.
That's how I read it.
The way I read it was we came in here expecting Morgan to be here.
Yes.
We are going to dress Vince down if he's here, and we are going to explain why Morgan deserves to get this over Vince. Oh, Ashley's here. First off, the reveal that is Ashley, and the squeal
The
from
squeal of
Rachel
joy. The
was
the reaction to Morgan walking out told me Ashley had already won.
no. The when they found out that Ashley was the one that sent her there,
Oh
that
yeah.
told me Ashley had already won because they thought Vince had done it,
Yeah.
betrayed another. But it was like, nope, Ashley did it, and then that was when it was like it was wrapped up.
I think it was only a toss up if Vince walked out.
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, so question number one, read by Keanu, said this is emotion. Was he called his gameplay emotionally manipulative, and was that a part of his strategy? I read that as a dig. You guys read that as you and Tasha, because Tasha agreed with you. You guys read that as a
Here's
chance
a
for
chance
him
to
to
own
own
your
his
game.
game.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I feel like when you use words like emotionally manipulative, I could see that as a chance to own the game, but I feel like it's an underhanded way to do it.
Well, pause on this for a second because we're talking about fashion in the chat. So Vince wearing that ugly ass sweater. When Vince was wearing the suit during the part 2 of the competition, he looked super smarmy, like it was screaming used car salesman.
Bro, so he didn't even bring a finale outfit.
Right.
He didn't even
He didn't
have a
expect to
finale
get there.
outfit. And even crazier is that Ashley was like, Ashley told him, you should just wear that suit from the fucking competition.
He should have.
And he's like, nah, and he wore that fucking ugly ass sweater.
He was getting the Christmas sweater
You
ready.
gotta pack a finale outfit just in case.
And if he didn't wear that, he could have worn like the costumes they had from like the Poison veto competition.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
He could have worn the egg, the hard boiled detective.
Oh, they're
Like
funny.
he had so many other things he could have worn, and he chose that sweater.
That's a choice. That's a choice. But
anyway,
the emotionally manipulative gameplay, right? He said he was authentic.
No.
That's not great. That's not owning the game.
Here's the problem is if you were authentic and that's how you really are, it actually makes me think less of you. Because then it makes me question who you are as a person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I said not hard-boiled detective. Yeah, he should have wore that. Now, the funniest thing, right? So I'm sitting there, and I said, that was a rough question. Yeah. Rachel asked the next question to Ashley. She's like, Ashley, congratulations, girl. Name some specific moves you did that was strategic. And I was like, I've never, the last time I saw an assist this good, LeBron threw it up and Dwayne Wade slammed it home and someone was doing their arms back. I have never seen an assist this good. Like it was because she doesn't have time to get all the speech in. But if she gets the questions teed up, she can take that speech and transpose it through these questions.
But it's funny because I'm sure in jury you already had Rachel, Will, and Ava putting in the work for Ashley.
Yes.
And this is Ashley's chance to reaffirm everything they've been saying.
Yep. And so she goes in there and she goes through how adaptable she was and how she created these allies and how she she just broke it down. Julie's like, you're going to have time to do this. And like, Julie, you don't know because you don't watch the show, Julie. I have a whole dissertation to tell you. So buckle up because I gotta get through this.
The amount of times Julie reminded them to like wrap it up, keep going. I was like, Julie, you need to tell them they're on a timer.
How about this though? How about this? This is wild. Julie wants them to wrap it up so we can ask Riley and Catherine if they're together. Like, this is why we need to wrap it up so we can go ask about if Jimmy and Mickey made up. Like, that's why we need to wrap it up.
America loves a showmance.
We need to wrap it up so we can get to this pre-jury segment.
Yeah, because if you don't like the fact that they didn't wrap it up is why we didn't get to talk to Adrian.
We got to wrap it up so we can ask who was the mastermind accomplice.
Right. Accomplices.
Like, we need to run that video package. By the way, I thought that was great. But that's what we need to do. Come on, man. Come on. Anyway, now I saw that assist. That was great. Kelly's next question, though, was how much lying and crying was sincere. I said, ooh, another dig.
That was when I knew that he was getting no vote. that Kelly's like, the first one, Keanu's I read is like, okay, you're kind of giving him a chance to own his game. Like, it was a dig, but I was like, maybe they might come around if he can justify it. And then Kelly's, I was like, oh no, he's drawing dead.
Yeah, that was when I was like, this is rough. Then Will ask Ashley another real softball-y question.
Yep.
And I was like, my God, she is just getting pass after pass. Like, this is like
it's like when people decide to hike Machu Picchu, and like Vince was hiking and was carrying all his own shit, and Ashley took the train to the top.
Correct. And then and I thought it was really funny watching the fact that she got 3 questions from. They chose that they as a group allowed Rachel, Will, and Ava to ask her those questions, and then he got the questions from Kelly, Keanu, and then finally from Lauren.
Yep. The 3 people he burnt.
Yes. And he had to answer to them specifically. With Lauren asking the last question of give us 3 moves that you can take credit for that Morgan cannot take credit for.
And here's the best part, as we talked about earlier this episode, those are the 3 people that should have been locks to vote for him.
Correct.
But he burnt all of them.
And his moves, his answers for that one, CJ, was keeping to the Judges Alliance Morgan put me in.
Yeah.
Some shit I did during week 1.
Correct.
Week 1.
Because that was the last time he did something that wasn't Morgan's move in the eyes of the jury and him.
And voting the way I wanted to in the first 2 or 3 evictions. Pre-jury shit.
It just goes to show that, he won a lot of HOHs, but Vinny wasn't really doing anything.
Correct.
He was just trying to make people not mad. And it goes back to what we've talked about so many times this season, is that week 1, he had an opportunity to draw a line in the house and make people pick sides. And he was so anti-picking sides. And he rode that through the end, which is why nobody wanted to vote for him.
Now, this is the thing that was the toughest to me was Morgan's question, because she thought she was helping him out.
Yeah.
She asked him, what was the strongest point in your game? Now, during their fights about whether Vince could beat her or not, she would ask him what his speech is going to be. He would say some shit, and she would be like, no, you have a better speech than that. And she would rattle off pieces that she thought was good. She talked about how good his social game was. Because from her aspect, her vantage point, she thought his social game was really good.
Narrator voice.
Correct. Because everyone wanted to work with him. Everyone wanted to have his back. So when she asked that question, she thought she was teeing him up. He says his social game. Everyone wanted to work with me. This is kind of a thing that they had worked on, but not worked on intentionally, but it was something they had said during the thing. He said, that even after he put Kelly on the block 4 times, even she would probably still want to work with him. She audibly laughs. And Will has to hit her like you hit a kid in church to stop playing.
Yes.
And that's when I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. I was like, that is whoo,
Do you, I mean,
ooh.
at that point, Vince should have just been like, "Can I just get my $75,000 check now,
Can I
or
leave
do I
now?
have to wait to get it on like the Today Show? Like, how does this work?"
Yeah, how do I get out of here? Like, how do I like? Where's the door? Like, what is it? This door? Do I just go out this one right here?
Yeah,
Like, it was that was rough. And like, as she ran through the shit, it reminded me of like when Matt sat next to Jag, and Matt thought he was gonna win the game, and then Jag ran through like the shit he had done a little bit,
yeah,
and then Matt was like, "Oh, that's how this thing goes."
yeah. Well,
It
Matt was
was
arguing
similar
for we, and Jag was arguing for me.
for me, and that was yeah, it was
Yeah,
similar. It was similar. It's crazy, and so um, I don't know how we got there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then Ashley then rattles off all the things.
mm-hmm.
After she rattles the things, and Vince is like, "Oh, this girl took me out behind the woodshed." We get to hear their final arguments, and Ashley says, "Ladies and gentlemen of the jury," and she went to work. I turned
And
to my
what it
buddy
and what did
and I
Vince say?
said,
I'm unemployed.
"Well, no, she goes and she talks about she tells her Elle Woods thing,
Yeah,
and they said we have more in common than you think. We're both lawyers. I went to Georgetown Law, worked at a prestigious law firm. Boom, boom, blah blah." I turned to the dude that I know and I said, "So, what were you saying?" And he said, "I'm ready to vote for Ashley." I said, "I thought so." That's exactly like, and I said to him, I said, look, man, here's the thing. This is a social strategy game, right? Ashley didn't have to win no comps. You can win this game without winning any competitions. The
correct.
reason I love this fucking show is because competitions don't necessarily matter.
Right.
You need them to keep yourself safe. And Ashley ate with the line of I turned enemies into allies, unlike this man who turned allies into enemies.
That line alone sealed it.
Right. She ate
Like,
with that.
like Vince's grave was already covered, buried, whatever. Like, you go to a funeral and it's like everybody puts some dirt on the grave, whatever. Ashley just drove the bulldozer over.
Yeah.
We're filling it. Like, drop all the dirt on because it's over. It's a wrap. Vince had no chance.
Correct. And like earlier you had mentioned that like it reminded you of Taylor. I didn't get the Taylor vibe because this to me was different. This was all about social strategy. Taylor's was all about heart, right? Taylor's speech
So
was
when I say it reminded me of Taylor, it was the level of preparedness
okay.
and the performance of it. Like, it felt very well rehearsed and not necessarily coming from the heart like some of the other ones of the past have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, maybe that's more of where we're going, is like the last few have all been very performative and outlining why they should win. Because Jag was
Okay.
like that too, with my hands are covered in blood, bathed in blood.
Yeah.
But this one felt more like Taylor's to me, in the sense that, like, I know there's a lot of casuals out there that are like, Taylor has no business winning, Ashley has no business winning, and then they laid out why they should win. I don't think it was justification for the jury. I think it was justification for the
There's a
casuals
through
of the
line.
world.
There's a through line. There's a through line that you're missing. that we hadn't even, I just thought about right here. Taylor, pageant. Chelsea, minister.
Yep.
Ashley, lawyer. There's a through line of public speaking and delivering messages like this to people often. That's the through line. When you
Yes.
said it like that, they do this. Their
Correct.
speeches are not performances. Their speeches speak to people.
Yes,
A
that's what it is.
Yes, that's the through line. As a when you're doing a pageant, that's what you're doing. When you're a minister giving a sermon, that's what you're doing. When you're a lawyer delivering to a jury, that's what you're doing.
Correct.
That's the through line.
Yes.
That's the through line. That's what it is.
That's
And I
exactly
and
what it
I
is.
see what you're saying.
And that's why I said like that's what felt to me. It felt like she wasn't talking to the jury. It felt like she was talking to America.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, and that's what it was. And
Mm-hmm.
because she was talking to them, but she was delivering this message to them from her,
Yeah.
and it was compelling.
Correct.
And
But like
and
as hardcore fans, we already knew that all of those people should have won. But I felt like you were saying, you're at a buddy's house who thought Ashley had no chance. That speech turned a lot of people around.
yeah, yeah, the people on the other side of the screen, the
Correct.
people in them chairs had already gotten in line.
Yeah, they didn't need to hear it.
They didn't need to hear it. That speech wasn't for them. Just like Taylor's speech wasn't for them. They had
Uh huh.
already made that decision.
Correct.
Joseph had put in that work already.
Mm-hmm.
Michael had put in that work already. That was already because the work is done in the jury house.
Correct.
That work was already done. Now, Vince's speech, as Mary said, he was using his unemployedness in the speech because Ashley saying she was a lawyer, all he said was, I'm unemployed. I really am
That's
unemployed.
the one thing I didn't lie about this year.
Yeah. And he just lied to the end. If his speech was like unmemorable. He talked about he won a bunch of competitions.
Yeah.
14 wins. He had to do damage control half the time. He had to get himself off the block.
Talking about how he had to play his game in the open and everyone knew who he was working with, like, that's not a good thing because it means that everyone knows you burned so many people.
Yeah.
And yet you don't admit that you burned them, like you never owned that you burned them. So you just did it just because for no reason.
Now, Tasha's right. Vince's speech wasn't as bad as answering the questions because he was able to prepare that. Because he was
Yes.
preparing for a speech under his breath all weekend. He was preparing for a speech against Ashley because he knew that's what he was going to be doing.
Yes.
But the questions, I think, caught him off guard. He was not expecting to get roasted. Because he also thought Ashley
already
didn't
did
do shit.
Zingbot. Well, he already had gone through Zingbot. He didn't think he was getting roasted again.
It wasn't even that. He thought he had an easy time against Ashley because he thought she didn't do shit, and he was wrong. Now, Sheldon, you're saying that Rachel won the game again this time for Ashley. That's not how that works. When you get
Nah.
to the jury house, you're touting for you're stomping for someone. So me and Sheldon played a online. The way me and Sheldon became friends is years ago. At this point, it was years ago. We played an online game together, and Sheldon made it to the end. Sheldon played a fantastic game, right? But the person that he was sitting against, I thought she was playing a better game. And Sheldon played a phenomenal game that I didn't see. But I went in there and I was stumping for the other girl. The vote was 5-4. And she won.
Mm-hmm.
I was stumping for her and she got the win. And I changed some hearts and minds because I thought she was playing a better game from what I was able to see.
Right.
That's what you have to do. You have to have people in there that have your back.
Which is why jury management is so important.
Yes.
And we've been crucifying this cast all season because they've all been terrible at it.
Right. And Vinny was the worst of them all.
Vinny was the worst of them all. Like, Ashley was probably the best at it of the people who made jury. And then maybe Morgan. Maybe, but I can't even say maybe Morgan because so many of the people in jury just didn't do anything.
Well, but they all went home by Morgan by way of Vinny, which was fantastic
Yeah.
because Vinny
So
had to
Morgan
had
never
to
burnt them.
correct. Nice, Sheldon. See you later. Uh, Mary's correct. Ashley's game was very similar to Steve.
Yeah.
Steve, when he took out Vanessa, that's what you had to do. If you could take out the big bad, you get a chance to get it
Yes.
done, and that's what you have to do. The watching Ashley go in there and finish Vinny off, slay the final of the unemployed was fantastic. And then finally, we get to the votes. Rachel goes up there, very obviously voting for Ashley, excited to vote for Ashley. Didn't think she'd get the chance to vote for Ashley. Couldn't put Ashley's name in fast enough. Will says, I'm voting for my daughter.
Yep.
and
Jules
and
says
Julie
you can't
said,
announce your vote.
he like, sorry, I don't know. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
what y'all expected from me.
Are you surprised?
Yeah. Um, Kelly votes next. I forgot what she said, but it seemed as if she was not voting for Vince.
Yep.
Lauren votes next, and she just says, "Hey guys, good job," because she didn't know what else to say. And
Has Lauren known what to say once all season?
no, Keanu then votes and says, "I'm voting for the person that exhibited the things I said I wanted to see in a winner."
When he said that, I was surprised to see that he had not voted for Vince.
Mm.
Because the things I thought he wanted to see in a winner was a man. That's it.
Yeah, that was it. And then when like I said, when Ava said, "I'm voting for the person that believed in us,
Mm-hmm.
even when I no longer, even when I stopped believing in us."
You
Eh,
knew Ashley had it in.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then Morgan said, "Congratulations to you both. I'm voting for the person that I'm riding with, or whatever."
Yeah.
Votes locked in. Vince finds out that Ashley is just better than him at this game, than better than he thought.
Yeah.
He found out this game's not about competition; it's about fucking social strategy. Um,
Which is funny because he said he's been applying for 10 years. You think he would have known that.
you would think so, but if you're like a casual, he's been only a fan since BB16.
Okay.
The moment he saw BB16, he started applying. So like Frankie's a god to him, Derek's a god, Cody's a god. Like Cody's
Right.
legitimately a god to him.
Correct.
BB16 is a very good season. They show a lot of people BB16.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get 17, right? With Paul and no, you get 17 with Davon. You get Davon and them. You get and Steve and Vanessa, and then you get 18 with Paul. You get 19 with Paul. You get 20 with level 6. 21 Jackson, Mickey, and them. 22 Cody comes back. You see dominant gameplay that's not social strategy.
But they still had to maintain. So this is, you're right. Like you see dominant gameplay that is very competition dependent. But what he missed and he never did is that everybody in those groups had a dominant alliance. And he kept trying to push away from the judges, which made no sense to me because he should understand that if you've been watching this show for 10 years, you need numbers.
Yeah.
And why are you sending out your numbers?
What's up, Kaz? Correct. Like it's a weird thing to do, and that's what he pushed that away.
He
It's
he's dumb.
it's crazy because that's how you win the game. But like you said, you don't see any social strategy winners in his mind, and that's so you can't win like that.
Yeah.
Tasha said this is an interesting thing. He was supposed to be on last season. Do you think he would have made it to the final two chairs? No, because Chelsea would have took care of that shit quick, fast, and in a hurry. There's no way. There's no way he's getting past Cam, Cedric, and Chelsea. The triple C's would have took care of Vince. Because let's be real, right?
He would have burnt one of them and gone.
He's in Joseph's seat, right? There's no way you have him and Joseph. He is Joseph. Joseph is him. Quinn tries to team up with Vince, and Vince goes just like Joseph. It's one of them that goes. You got Angela running around here. You got Leah running around here. You got Mackenzie running around here. There's nowhere for Vince to hide. Vince can't do the things he's doing here. No.
He would have tried to make Leah his Lauren, I think. Now he would have tried to make Mackenzie his Lauren.
Yeah, probably Mackenzie. Chelsea's not connecting with Vince like that. I couldn't see it. As Chad says, with Chelsea around, I don't think so. I don't. What do you think, chat? Like, do you think if Vince is on last season, do you think he gets to those final two chairs? I don't know how he gets past Chelsea, Mackenzie,
and
Cam.
I don't know how he gets past like 7.
I don't know how Tucker doesn't clip him.
Yeah.
Like he falls into some Tucker bullshit, right? Like Tucker's a more dominant player physically than them motherfuckers, right? Them other fuckers around, like the other ones fucking around. So if Tucker decides he didn't like him, Tucker's just gonna go after him anyway. And so then you got Rabina and T-Core and them, like.
That's the thing about last season is like people rode with their allies. Vince would have clipped one of his own allies early, and it would have been a wrap for him. Because nobody else is trying to go home on his watch.
Yeah.
Versus people let him stay. Like, that's the thing that's so stupid to me, is you're watching him send his allies home and you still want to work with them?
I mean, that's crazy, right? I mean, that's an interesting thought experiment, right? Because, like, let's say he's Joseph. Let's say he's working with, tangentially, he's working with T-Core, Chemo, and Rubina, and he sends Chemo home.
He'd be out.
There's no way Tucker, Rubina, and T-Core are letting him breathe the next day.
Chelsea's not allowing it either.
Like, there's no way.
Chelsea's not allowing it either, which means Cam isn't allowing it.
There's no way.
And like Chelsea and Mackenzie weren't even tight then.
Right. Like when Cedric went home on accident, they were like, we fucked up. Like they were like,
so we remember when Cedric went home on accident and then they all looked at each other and said, well, let's never do that again. And then they didn't.
Yeah. They said we fucked up.
Shout out to Cedric doing great on the challenge, by the way.
Yeah. Young Cedric. You know
killing it on the challenge. Anyway, I don't understand how, and this goes back to what we've been talking about. One of the through lines for our season is how do you send your allies home? Because anybody should have nipped it in the bud. And now we're doing this thought experiment, and it's very obvious how stupid they were to let it keep happening this season. Because last year's cast, I'd like to say they would have shut that shit down quick.
Yeah, because it happened once, and they were like, what did we do?
Yeah.
What have we done?
Well, it's the pawns go home.
Yes. And they weren't even pawns. They were actively trying to. This season, they're actively trying to send their allies home.
Yeah.
Mickey put up Jimmy to send him home.
which never made any sense to me.
No. Speaking of her putting up Jimmy, we get this pre-jury segment, and then they ask Jimmy about that. Jimmy props to him giving credit to Morgan. That was cool.
Yep.
They talked about Vince's final twos. That was cool. We got
talked about Riley and Catherine still being together.
Now that was interesting, right? So like now they're officially together. That was interesting, right? Because at this point, Riley and Catherine are together, right? In a relationship. Now they are just like any other abusive couple in the world. They're just out there. I can care less. They're just a couple out there in the world doing their own thing. Ain't nobody got to follow them. Ain't nobody got to ask about them. Ain't nobody got to look at them. They just out there in the world.
They're just doing their own thing.
Yeah. And it's funny because we had a lot to say because while they're in the house, they're on our TV. But like now, they're not on my TV. So I ain't never got to see them. And I ain't never got to think about them. They just any other abusive white couple out there.
I mean, until the next time you see Catherine's BB comic and you have nothing to say.
Two. like that, man, that was the rings with the rings. Like this is like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? What we got going on the ringer? What are we doing? The ringer. What are we doing here with the ringer?
She has a nose for justice.
She has a nose for the ringer. What are we doing?
The best part is like all Riley could ever talk about with her is that she's beautiful. And then he talks about like, oh, she's like nice too. But like he's just attracted to her looks. And then they go and make her comic about her looks.
Look, and then Cass is right here. Long as they off my screen, don't give a damn what they do.
Yep.
And so go off and do what you got to do.
The worst thing that could happen to us as a fandom is for them to actually last and like get married and have kids because they'll be bad.
Maybe
we don't want that.
What do you think of that?
More successful couples than The Bachelor.
Yeah. But we never see Jess and Cody.
That's true.
So maybe not, right? And they got like 6 kids, like 5. Like he made Jessica a baby factory.
Yes.
Cody has like popped out child after child out of that woman.
Yep.
And we never see them, so who knows? Question: what did you think about that mastermind twist? The fact that those masks were different and the stuff was there the entire time. I was like, okay, big brother, y'all were like actually doing some shit. I didn't even notice.
So, you want to know some real talk? I didn't recognize Jesse Goddard's because he didn't have his shirt off. And then once I was like, it's Jesse. Like, I love Jesse. Like, I watched Jesse Russell. Like, Jesse's great. And then it was Frankie. And then the third one.
Eric Stein.
Eric. Yes, it was Eric. And I was like,
Stein.
oh, yeah. I was like, I remember all these twists. This is actually really, like, brilliant how you're doing this. It's a shout out to the long-time watchers.
It was funny because I was at the house. And I was like, oh, the coup d'etat.
Yeah.
Oh, America's Player. Rewind twist. And the homie was like, well, I don't know about none of this shit, but Kevin seems to be into it. And I was like, yeah, because I've watched all these seasons.
Yeah. The America's Player one was the worst.
Yeah.
Like,
that was our first season.
I'm glad they don't do shit like that anymore that fuck up people's game.
Yes. By the way, chat, the craziest thing is that was the first season CJ and I watched together. We were way back then, and that was the first season we watched together. BB-8.
Dick with the pots and pans.
Yeah, man. Now, Mickey, welcome to the chat. Mickey says, new era, big brother. Don't be responsible for putting people in the jury. They become sore losers, hate you, and are a bitter jury. That is untrue.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't agree with that. I think the reason why they're bitter is because they were lied to unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think if you own your moves, I think that they'll accept it. Because everybody in the jury seemed to acknowledge that they were playing a game, and what Vince did was beyond game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Hmm.
it came across as manipulative, which I could see why they felt the way they did. Because I had said weeks ago, I don't think there's any way Vince wins because the jury is bitter specifically against him.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's not like because if they were just people he sent home and they weren't his allies,
Yes,
then it's fine. But they
correct.
were people actively trying to work with him, and
Because
he's
like,
lying to them.
because if you want to go down the line, Rachel has a
So
right to be
Mickey
pissed
feels
at
like Vinny
Vince.
owned it in his speech.
I
He did
disagree.
not.
I disagree. So if you want to go down the line of how Vince pissed everyone off, you could even start with Rachel with the White Locust twist because he picked Lauren first,
Hmm. Hmm. When he's
thereby
in the
put
judges, when he's in the judges alliance and supposed to be keeping the judges safe.
yeah. So now Rachel's mad at you, so that's one reason to be bitter. Um, Rachel went home because of that. That's a reason for Will to be bitter. Like Will didn't like Vinny anyway, but that's a
But like,
reason to
let's
be
get to the
bitter.
real thing, right? Kelly is your ally. You have a final two with her. You put her on the block 3 more times after the first time when she said it was cool.
Yeah,
After that, you then betrayed her on the Adrian vote. You betrayed her on the Riley vote. You betrayed her on the Catherine vote.
correct.
Same goes for Keanu. Lauren's even worse because she used the veto to take you down,
And then you put her up.
and then no, and then you send Riley home after you promised her that you would use that veto to do what you got to do, to do what she wanted you to do, which was not send Riley home. You then
Mhm.
send Riley home. You then put Catherine up, and then you put her on the block, where she's supposed to be your ride or die, when she's doing everything in her power to keep you safe. These are the reasons that Vinny doesn't get their votes. It's not because he sent them home. It's because he was a terrible ally to these people.
How can you say in your speech that Lauren was your best friend in the house and you put her up? Like it wasn't lost on me that he called Lauren his best friend in the house when Morgan's still sitting out there. Like, how was Morgan not your best friend in the house based on how you moved through the game? Because logically, you wouldn't have done that to your best friend in the house. And if that's how you treat your friends, I hate to be your enemy.
Correct. Right here, Cass hits the nail on the head. Putting Lauren up was entirely unnecessary. He should have put up Ashley. He was never getting her vote regardless. And
Yep.
then realistically, the ally he should have let go was Morgan because she's the reason he was in any of this mess.
Yep.
When Morgan makes you do all these things to burn all these other people, she's the one you should probably have let go.
Yep.
That's just the truth of it.
Yeah.
But I digress. So I want
And
to go.
sorry, before you digress, he could have owned that. He could have said, I made a choice to play with the comp beast, and look how we got to the end by winning together. But he did never said that.
Even if he did, though, that wouldn't have changed the fact that he had already done all those actions. Even if he
Correct.
owns those things, the actions had already happened and these people were working with you.
He never owned anything. He just cried about it.
Correct. Correct.
He claimed
Now,
they tricked him. They played some
yeah,
Jedi mind trick. Like, stop sniveling.
yes, he was sniveling the entire way. But in addition, Ashley was doing things in the background, changing the narrative the entire way.
Right.
Now, Mary's interesting. She said it should have been Jody, Cam, and Glenn as the ones because they're the ones that went home first in those three different before they even got to play the game. That would have been interesting.
I don't think enough
Uh,
people would have remembered them.
Correct, because they go home first. I
Hmm.
thought I thought Jesse was great. Getting Eric Stein back 20 years later, shouts to that. Um, getting I mean, they get Frankie back for everything all the time.
Frankie will always come
um,
back. Jesse will
yeah,
always come back.
bro. When Jesse first took the mask off, you didn't recognize Jesse. I was like, Jesse Goddard's, Mr. Spectacular.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
like I said, once I saw his shirt, I was like, "Oh, it's Jesse." Jesse's getting old.
He is. He's getting
We're
older.
all
He's
getting
getting
old.
older. Yeah, man. Man, that was great. the fact that was a long running thing. I don't know what you would have gotten if you figured it out.
Probably nothing.
Yeah, probably nothing. But I thought that was cool that they put it in there.
Yeah.
I thought the mastermind twist was dumb when they did that. I was like, I mean, I don't know what the point of this was, but this is fun. This is fun that you guys had actually put some forethought into this.
Yeah. Instead of just doing it to do it. I was really hoping the mastermind was janky though.
You know what the worst part is that like it doesn't make up for Rachel going home, but like it kind of like makes it like a little bit more okay.
Yeah. like, that she also got screwed by a twist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's still not okay, but like it's a little bit more okay because we just named other people that got screwed by a twist.
What I would say is that, and we talked about it when Rachel went home, it was a twist that took the power out of the player's hands, which, similar to Eric, is a big screw.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that I can't, and it's still different because, like, with Eric, it was like, I want to target so-and-so, well, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
Versus with Rachel, it's you have to play a game to survive. You can't socially move your way out of this one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, we find out we get America's favorite player. Shouts to the pod, right?
Yep.
We had the three. We were cheering for Will early. We had Rachel after the screw, and then we knew that Keanu was going to probably win. The fact that we had all three, we were stumping for any of the three, and those are the final three. We were locked in. We've been locked in all season.
Oh, the fact that in the final three in the house, I think was our top 5 draft picks.
Yeah. Fantastic.
In a season that we felt like we had terrible reads.
We had great reads. We knew what we were doing. We knew what we were doing all along.
Yep.
Did you take Ashley 1-1?
I took Ashley 1-1. I took Morgan 3rd.
Look at us. Great read.
I think I went Ashley, then I went Jimmy. Terrible read.
Yeah.
Jimmy's not even a terrible read. Mickey did something stupid.
I took Keanu. That ended up it wasn't conventional, but it got there. Like,
right? Well, like Ashley talked about in her speech, she was a target day one, and she won the game. That's crazy.
It was looking good for you early, but it worked out.
Right? I was real nervous for my draft.
Yeah, I had Vince. So going to the draft, you had Ashley 1-1. I took Keanu first. I took Adrian. You took Jimmy, Morgan. Then I had Vince. And it came down to me versus you in the end. That's interesting. Yep. That's interesting. Okay, I had a chip in a chair. In terms of people making jury, I'm not going to break down the entire numbers, but we both had Ashley in jury. We both missed on Ava. I had Cliff in jury. You didn't. Going down, we both had Kelly out of jury. We missed on that one. We both had Keanu in. We both had Lauren in. We both had Morgan in.
Yep.
We both had Vince in. Hey, decent on that. Look at us. Hey, we're decent.
Watching this season, and I don't know if it's because the cast was older, but I'm wondering if we're moving into a new era of Big Brother where older players can go further.
Yeah.
Like, the young people are still winning. Like, we still have a lot of under 30 winners, but you're seeing older people go further in the game, and I think part of that is that we're getting older people in the game, but I think part of that goes back to the diversity that we're seeing in the cast, where you're just getting strange bedfellows like Will and Ava.
Yeah. People just locking in with each other, you know what I'm saying? It's just like connecting with people on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, CJ, what are your thoughts on the season? Let's wrap it up.
I'm glad we're done because I'm probably not going to think about this season again until some of them start showing up on the challenge.
They had me in the first half, not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? They had me in the first half, not gonna lie. But second half, though, I was much happier.
I was ready to rage quit when Rachel went home.
Yeah. If this shit had become the challenge, I was out of here. It
Mm-hmm.
didn't, which is good. The end game was great. Vorgan, wild. Vincent Morgan down the home stretch was crazy.
Yep.
Um, Ashley wrapping it all up, getting a social strategy winner is everything, means everything to me because I love this game because of social strategy. So having someone that won literally two competitions and was able to explain why they were winning, why they deserved to win, and then was able to maneuver everything around them to get it done. I love it. I love it so much.
Vince probably would have been the winner, worst potential winner of the people that made jury non-Kelly division. Kelly winning
Yeah.
as a chaos agent would have ruined the game for like future years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think Vince, on a lower note, probably would ruin the game if he won for future years
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
how they would have cast people.
Mm-hmm. But Ashley reaffirms what this game is.
Yes.
And I love when that can happen, right? Taylor reaffirmed what this game was. Ashley reaffirms what this game was.
Yeah.
Cass says, cheat mans, wonder how far that would have went without production saying something. Great question.
Yes.
It
If
is now
Zingbot
dead.
doesn't roast them, who
Yeah.
knows?
Who knows? That's now dead in its tracks. Vince, I don't know. I'm sure at this point Vince knows he's not in a relationship anymore, I'm sure. I know in his exit interviews he said that him and Kelsey are fine and they'll talk when he get his phone back, but I'm sure he got his phone back and found out he was blocked. I'm
Well,
sure.
I'm sure he talked to his parents and they told him that he was single.
She came and brought your stuff.
Yeah.
That's, um, I think that this season, hindsight ranks him bottom half, but not bottom third.
This season was fine. Like, we were so down on the season for it to end in a place where, like, I'm not going to think about it, as opposed to the Matt Jack Bowie, the Mafia season, where I don't want to think about it.
Correct. This season, they ended up getting the strategy together at the end. Having
Mm-hmm.
social players is what I like to see. Thank God for Rachel Riley. Rachel Riley helped get this shit on course. Shouts to
Thank God for comp equity being back.
yes. Uh Will and his chocolate drop. He got the finals here. I hope they enjoy their trip to London. Thank you, Zach, for that for them.
Yep.
Um it's Ashley being a social winner, fantastic. Mary's right when production was mad that Ashley won, so we're happy. That's what we love to see. When
Yep.
production needs to figure out how to edit a social player, they got to figure that shit out. Try to figure out how to show strategy. Fan cams online can figure it out. They need to start figuring out how to do that shit too. Rachel saved the season, and that is the truth. Rachel Riley is a godsend. I used to not like her. I have come all the way around. Rachel Riley, we need her on anything that she can be on because she deserves the world.
Yep.
I can't wait to see. Oh, last thing before we get out of here, CJ. We had 17 house guests. Running through them. Who is a future challenger? Who are those people future on the challenge? I'm going to go one by one, name by name. You tell me, do they have a future on the challenge?
All right.
All right. Starting with Adrian.
No.
Okay. Amy.
No. Too old.
Ashley.
If she wants it.
Okay. Ava.
No.
Cliff. Will.
Too old.
Zay.
No.
Okay.
The
Jimmy.
reason why I say no is I think that he hasn't. I don't think he was around long enough to make an impression.
Okay. Fair. Jimmy.
No, but I think that we'll see him doing other stuff.
He's going to be in the community for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Catherine.
If she wants it.
Keanu.
Yes.
Not even if he wants, they're going to figure out how to give him
Yeah,
and Tucker money to just get them out there.
potential because Keanu's like physical stature.
Yeah,
He's gonna get one because they're hoping they can turn him into the next CT.
yeah. Kelly,
No, she's too weird.
Lauren.
If she wants it,
Yeah, they want Lauren out
they
there.
want her. It's if does she want it?
Yeah, especially with her being 22, they
Uh huh.
want Lauren out there, like for sure.
Yeah, like
That's,
you put her in there as like the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed youngster,
she's the
and watch
next
her grow up on
DM.
TV. Yeah.
She having her be the next DM for the next few years. Oh my gosh, they would love that. Mickey,
Nah.
nah. Morgan,
Yes.
yeah, I think there's a chance. Riley,
Maybe. I would say yes, but he's already a bull rider. I don't know if he's ready to give that up.
true. Vince,
Nah.
nah. Zach,
Yes.
yeah. Chat in the chat. Keanu, Lauren, Zach. I think that's true. And then I think yes, and Morgan too. I think
Yeah.
Morgan too.
I think Morgan is going to be doing stuff like the challenge because she's already a streamer. She's already out there working the social media space. The challenge is the next step in building her brand.
Tosh says Zach was terrible at comps. Yes, he was, but he's tall. He's a former
He's
athlete. He's a former professional baseball player. He looks pretty and he's
yeah.
ripped.
I was
And
about to
that's all
say,
that really matters.
yeah, yes, Zach was terrible at comps. He's also an Adonis.
Yeah. Yeah. And Mary's right. He was terrible at BB comps. The moment you put him up
Yes.
there on a side of a big rig and he has to hold onto a rope, I've seen Big Easy do it. He can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Brandon Nelson. I saw him do it.
Yeah.
I've seen. I know him. He
Mm-hmm.
Zach can do
Yeah.
it.
I know exactly what kind of athlete Brandon Nelson is because I play sports with him.
And he's an athlete.
And he's an athlete.
Zach can do this.
Yeah.
Zach can do this. Wrapping it up, CJ. Thank y'all for joining us. If y'all want to hear us throughout the rest of the year, from time to time, we do a audio only podcast called Justice for Dean Thomas, where me and CJ, along with our friends Shantae and Natasha, do like a Harry Potter reread, and we talk about the books, but from a Black people's perspective. And then we will be doing a weekly rewatch when we do our weekly recap when the show airs. So, and we'll be doing that online. So catch us for that whenever that is. But you can catch us on the audio. So follow us there. Justice for Dean Thomas. You can hear us on all of your podcast feeds. We upload sporadically, but right now we have some episodes that are up there. We're through book 3. We're into book 3. Yep. So check that out. The Prisoner of Azkaban. So check that out. That's where we will be, and you can find us. You can also find us online at KG Fury on all social media platforms. You can find CJ at Keyboard Sarcasm on all social media platforms. Tasha said, "Are we doing the Amazing Race?" We are not doing the Amazing Race. We maybe.
I think the next time you're gonna see us might be Celebrity Traders. If not, you will probably see us for Real Traders when we get normal people playing the game.
Yeah, there's a good chance. Yeah, there's a good chance that we're back for the Traders. We're not doing the Amazing Race because even though it's a Big Brother edition, we didn't think about it and didn't get it together. But,
and also, we're busy.
Yeah, but there's a good chance. There's a good chance you see us for this winter for the Traders, because I think we definitely want to talk about the Traders. Or if they decide to do a Big Brother, because I think it's this year's Winter Olympics,
which means Celebrity Big Brother.
So there's a chance they might do some kind of Big Brother something. So if they do a Big Brother something, we'll be back. We're here to do Big Brother. If not that, you can catch us next summer. We'll be back to talk about Big Brother because we love it.
Yup.
Chat, Kaz, Mary, Tasha, Sheldon came through. Arthur came and gave his one comment like he does every week. Christine, thank you for joining us this time. Everyone that came to us this season, thank you for joining us. It's been an honor and a pleasure. We do this for fun. And this season, we have had a blast talking to all of you guys in the chat, week in and week out.
Great making new friends.
It was fantastic making new friends. This was probably one of the biggest seasons we've ever covered, and it was because of you guys. It was great. It was fun. We, like I said before, we do this for $0. We don't have a Patreon. We don't care. We're doing this for fun because we like it. And we don't want you to donate. We don't want shit. We just want to hang out and talk to you guys. So thank you for joining us and spending your time with us each and every week. And we'll see you guys either in the winter for some celebrity and some traders, or we'll see you next summer. Follow, like, and subscribe. Coming to you from outside of the Big Brother house. Good night.
Peace.